Uncle Joe and Uncle Joe Jeeps, and Goby and I are headed down to FDR State Park. We're going to do a camp there, and tomorrow we're going to get up and get us a loop hike in around the Pine Mountain Trail and some of the other connecting trails. So this is my first exposure to that trail system, so I'm really looking forward to it. Going to shake out a camp using my CVT Awning Room as the tent. This will be the first time. I've had this thing for a long time and just haven't used it, so I'm going to shake that out as well. But first thing we got to do is get through this mess. Got an electric Rivian. So we're south of Newnan, 185 heading down toward Columbus, and you can see some tree damage here. They've actually got the road kind of down to one lane as they clear some of this. You can see back here. This was all part of a tornado and some storm activity that came through the Newnan area, so it looks like it came down through here as well. You can see some snapped off trees over here to my left, and of course the damage to my right. So it's like they blew some trees here across the interstate, I guess, and they're just finishing up getting it all cleared off. Hey, it's Uncle Joe Hikes, Uncle Joe Jeeps. I'm here at FDR State Park here in Georgia, and setting up camp. I got a campsite. I didn't realize it's gonna be right next to the bathroom. It's not a good place to be, but kind of is what it is. So we can see an inherently poor way of doing this. These guy lines are to tighten it out to the side, but then you lose the ability to pull that sleeve over. If you look through there, you can see that that's the case all the way around. What I've done here is I've cinched it down real tight to give me the ability to pull that lip over, but then I've done the same thing back here. But that kind of defeats the purpose of having all of that extra line to pull out. If you pull it all the way out, what's going to happen is it's going to create a lip around the bottom, like you see here in the front. Of course, water comes down, it's going to pull there. So if you see something obvious that I don't, let me know in the comments below. Got my table, got my lights, got my second awning for the kitchen. The room is set up. I'll deal with bedding later. Got my buddy heater. That'll just be to crank up, to, you know, warm it up for a little while, shut it off, and then go to bed, kind of a thing. Got my chair in there too. But yeah, got a new propane tank. If you saw my short that I put on, I'm going to be mounting that actually right there. Probably right in this area right here. That's going to be really convenient, so I'm looking forward to that. The clamps didn't come in time for this trip, but they'll probably be at the house by the time I get back home. Anyway, I didn't expect to be right here, as I said, by the bathrooms. It's usually not the place you want to be, because a lot of times the bathrooms, I don't smell the best, I'm just saying. But these are flushable and all of that, so it's not like it's a pit toilet. So we'll see. I was expecting that to be a little bit further away from me. You know, it's just hard to tell from the map. You know, map shows a loop with the bathrooms in the middle, but you have no idea how big that loop is till you get here. So that's what it is. So I thought I'd show you how this works in here. It's actually a very, very large door opening right here. And keep that up on your vehicle side, and you can just lift this up and get right into the Jeep. My messy Jeep. But yeah, I've just got some snacks. I gotta clean all this up, but let's see how much power we're doing. See, we're getting a couple of watts of solar. We're probably under a little bit of shade right now, but we've been getting good solar most of the day, so we should be good as far as power goes, whether or not they get power back on here or not. It's incidental to me. I also have a big portable solar panel that I've got stuck up there. You can see the orange, and that will top off my jack. I think I've got my cables here to jack it straight into the truck as well, so I can chase solar around the campground. You know, I can just put it out here or here. I've got about, I want to say 10 or 12 feet maybe of extra cable, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about power this weekend, whether they have power here or not. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the way the room works. It's backed off a little bit here, but I think that's going to work out good. And then tonight when I'm ready for bed, I'll zip all of that up, crank up the heater, and go from there. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow. I think it's going to be cold tonight though, probably around 30. We'll see. And hopefully tomorrow's going to be like 58, I think, the high down here, so that'd be good. Actually be a little warm for hiking, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I had to put the beanie on. It's getting a little bit cold. Wanted to show you the setup of how this little 5-pound bottle is going to work, this tank. It's nice. It's going to take the place of about 5 of these little green bottles, like I have in here, which I have some extras. I'm trying to use some of that up. But yeah, you can just get a hose off of Amazon that will let you basically convert it to use with a stove. Just wanted to fire it up, make sure it was going to work. Works pretty good. So yeah, it's gonna help a lot. Get rid of wasting those bottles, because you can't really recycle them or anything. Yes, turned off a little bit cold. The wind's blowing off and on a good bit too. So I do have my little fire pit here, and I'm going to try to use up some of these bottles with that. I have a little adapter there. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, just doing some changes to the camp setup and kind of shaking all that out here at FDR State Park in Georgia. So tomorrow we'll be hitting the trail and get probably about 8 miles or so in. There's a loop I'm going to do just to get myself familiar. So at some point I want to come back and do a backpacking trip. I'm way overdue for an overnight backpacking trip. If you follow over on Uncle Joe Hikes, you've probably been wondering, when are you going to go out there and backpack? You don't even do that anymore. All he does is day hikes. I know, I believe me, I beat myself up over it a little bit too. So anyway, I'm going to hunker down here a little while, and I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. Probably soup or something. I don't know. We'll see. Keeping it simple tonight, just some tomato soup, some crackers. Yeah, I didn't feel like making something too elaborate. I'm having a little bit of pain in my chest from condition that I have on occasion, so take it off too much, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, got some charging going on. Basically just chilling here at camp. It's pretty cold. And temperature's going to go down here shortly because the sun's going down. So I thought something hot in my belly would be a good thing. Well, made it through the first night in the CVT room. Did pretty good, and actually, despite having the propane heater on a few times, it did not condense inside, and I think I understand why. Because this has 2 ceilings, of course, the awning and then its own ceiling, so that kept any condensation. But I really thought that just from the heat rising up there that I'd have some, but I didn't. Now under this awning you could see some frost. I don't know if that's picking it up. You could barely see it here. You can see where it's frosted there from condensation, but all in all, that was pretty good. I had a problem with my quilts, my down quilts on a cot. They just kind of don't work on a cot. So they were shifting around on me a good bit. So anyway, all in all, not a bad night. Got pretty cold though. It got pretty cold. Anyway, we're going to get some coffee going because that's priority one right now. Well, we got coffee going. This percolator has a tendency to spit out right there, so I try to keep a little something over the top of it. I don't know if that's going to ride, but I may have to go over the whole top of it. I'll wait on the water till it starts percolating. Get my oatmeal water going. A little chilly this morning. It's probably 30. It's supposed to heat up really quick today. Supposed to be in the mid 50s by the end of the day. So we'll see how things go. But it looks like it's going to be a sunny day, which is good. I'll take it. So it's funny. I use a lot of these Clorox wipes for stuff. So I had one sitting out here for a few minutes and went to pick it up and it was stiff. It's cold. You know it's cold when the Clorox wipe is frozen stiff and more or less stuck to the bumper of the truck. What are you gonna do? So in case I didn't really go over this quite well enough, the way this room is, it's kind of like a box, right? With an opening on the bottom that you zip the floor in. So it has a ceiling itself, and then there's the ceiling to the awning. And it has this track here that you just run. You can see it right there. You just run that through and it goes all the way to the other side. And over here it has the same thing across the front up here on the outside. Got a little bit of frost up there, but it's also got a zipper, so you can put that in first, get the back in, then lift it up, and then you can just zip this side down, which is nice. And there's 3 doors and then a big door on the back. So the nice thing about that is that with its own ceilings, you don't get condensation on the top. And I really didn't have any condensation on the walls either, which was great. I fully expected to. But anyway, that's kind of how it works. The big problem with it is that it's incredibly bulky and it's cumbersome to set up, especially by yourself. If you had somebody else you're camping with, it'd be ideal to have somebody helping you, but we got it up. I don't like the way, like I say, the bottom works. You know, that lip pulls up. I've kind of got it more or less fixed there, but you can see across the front, and we went over this yesterday. But yeah, that makes it kind of a, I don't know if it's supposed to be higher, maybe, but I can't imagine anybody having their awning on their Jeep any higher than I got mine. Maybe I do. Bigger lift. Hoping that sun gets over that rise pretty soon. One thing that camping in a Jeep, or camping period from a car, will do is afford you the opportunity of things like a little bit of heater and things like that. So it's kind of a crutch. You can just fire that up, you know, it gets too cold. But it kind of spoils you, because when you're backpacking, you know, you just have to deal with it. And I think you handle it okay, because you know you have to deal with it. By the way, I did switch hats because that other one wasn't covering all my ears. It's a little bit cold, I keep saying that, but it's true. But yeah, you kind of get a little bit spoiled. Right now my toes are actually cold, which doesn't happen a lot in these socks, but because I'm not moving. If I'm hiking, I can hike a lot colder than this in these socks and my toes are fine. But just standing here, not moving, that wool doesn't have a chance to work its magic. Starting to get a little perk going. It ain't changed color yet though. Not that I'm impatient or anything. I was walking down there where the sun's coming through this cut, just looking at the sun a little bit. They say one of the best things a man can do for his health, testosterone generation, stuff like that, is to get up in the morning and go outside and let the morning sun come into their eyes. I don't think necessarily looking at the sun, but letting that morning light come in. They say, I mean, who knows, you know. But sound like something a woman would tell a man to get him out of the kitchen in the morning so she could, you know, get coffee and have some quiet time to herself or make breakfast or whatever. I don't know. Give it a try. It's not going to hurt. It's always nice to get out and see the sun in the morning, especially if it's out in the morning. My Pop-Tarts, they got a little bit crooked. But we got coffee, which is good. I got some oatmeal over here percolating, soaking up some water, and the sun is coming up into my face. Get a little breakfast going and see if we can't get some business taken care of. Then we got to clean up all this mess and get the pack on and hit the trail. Looking forward to that. Yeah, sit here, soak up a little bit of sun. It's about to go behind these trees right here, and I ain't gonna be able to sit in it very long. Got all my dishes done though, and just sipping some coffee and wait for my morning business. I'm gonna get on that trail. I'll feel a lot better once I get moving. Gonna do a loop out here on the Pine Mountain Trail, kind of catch the Pine Mountain and create a loop. I believe it's called the Long Leaf Loop. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do this morning. Take us I don't know, it's gonna be about 8 miles, so a couple 3 hours or so, and then we'll get back here and make us some lunch. Awesome views. Well, there's old Goby waiting patiently. It's not like she could go anywhere. Anchored to the tent room, but hopefully nobody broke in and got my pixie sticks. Make a nice little drink out of those, little something. Back at camp, got a shower. It was really nice. It was hot, thank goodness. One of the last places I went for about 4 or 5 days. Shower wasn't terribly hot, but excuse me, this one was. That's what matters. So yeah, we're gonna get the stove and everything going here, and find something nice. I've got some north side, some either rice or noodles. I haven't decided which, but I'm thinking maybe Alfredo noodles with some chicken. I have some of that canned chicken. Yeah, no gourmet fresh cut up stuff for this trip. After I get everything settled where I could take more time, then, you know, maybe I'll be a better Instagrammer, Overlander, whatever. But right now I'm just hungry, so you keep it simple, stupid. Ain't nobody more stupid than I am, so yeah, comes in handy if it's simple. So one bit of bad news I discovered is underneath this floor, underneath the tent floor, is really wet. So that means there was a lot of condensation going on under there, probably from the heat inside. Yeah, it kind of sucks. That means tomorrow morning I'm gonna have to get that out of there, open it up over the picnic table and let it dry as much as it can. So yeah, not cool. That's a pretty bowl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that chicken Alfredo's coming along. I just used the Northside's Alfredo noodles and just threw some canned chicken in there. Just make it simple. Worked out really well, I think. Already taste a little smidge of it. Gonna make some good eating. Well, dishes are done. Dinner's it. Just gonna basically chill. Probably fire up the campfire. A little propane campfire. And chill for a little while. Tomorrow, get up. A place called the Country Store. That's the place I'm looking for. I didn't mean that to rhyme. That was just coincidence, but that's what we gotta do in the morning. Pack up quickly and chase some breakfast. Well, we're getting all packed up. Already got the back awning up. I put that up last night because I'm not going to cook this morning. But yeah, now of course we got to break everything down. That's always the fun part. I slept a little better last night than I did the night before. Of course it was just a skosh warmer, but I was able to sleep a little bit better. Adjusted my quilts a little bit, and that kind of helped. And then had the heater running last night, sitting in there. Still on the fence about the CVT room. There are things I don't like about it, like these guide outs, how they turn that lip up at the bottom. If you've got any ideas on that, I'd sure like to hear it. You can see that lip there. You could imagine if it was raining, that would just come down and just gather, not to mention dirt and things like that. So other than that, it's a pretty good setup. It's a setup that you wouldn't want to break down every day, though. That would just be a pain. But it's thick material, so if you throw a little heater in there, you're going to be warm in a hurry, which is nice. But yeah, let's get broke down, see if we can't find some breakfast. Well, camp's all broke down. Time to get out of here. Go hit that corner store kitchen and see if they've got some biscuits and gravy. If they're closed, I'll probably just park in the parking lot and sob for a little while. But anyway, that's it for Uncle Joe Jeeps. Camp weekend at FDR State Park. Good time. Got to test out the CVT room. Really worked out well with the little buddy heater in there because it roasts pretty good. I didn't run it all night, but it was nice to have when you needed it. So anyway, that does it for this weekend. Get out of here, get something to eat.